how I know I had mental health problems was I pulled the trigger.
You actually pulled the trigger. Welcome to Uncomfortable Conversations with Emmanuel Acho. Now, I know most of y'all know this series is a dialogue around race, a much needed dialogue. But there are a lot of conversations that also need to be had around mental health. Now, Simone Biles and Naomi Osaka, young global superstars, they brought this conversation to the world stage at the most recent Olympic Games. So I'm privileged to be joined by someone who knows all there is to know about being a young global superstar, 5-time Grammy Award winner, but for the sake of this conversation, just a man who struggled with mental health.
I and our whole family.
Man, well, I appreciate, one, the vulnerability, bro. I appreciate the bravery. I appreciate the transparency. I appreciate the honesty, because I can't imagine how hard that must have been. Let's transition down the timeline of your life, because that was 12. By 18, 19, 20, 21, you were now a mega star. That's when your boy fell in love with your work.
Appreciate that.
As you got more popular, as you got more loved, did the mental health issues go away?
They didn't go away, but they came in a different way because of the maturity. So of course they're gonna hit different. They're gonna actually hit harder.
How so? Because what can truly hit harder than an individual wanting to take their life?
That thought never came. Other than that, man, just being alone all the time. You know, my grandmother raised me, rest in peace, Mercedes Carter. She raised me, so with that said, I always had time to myself. I'm always in the back room somewhere alone with myself, and too much time to think and too much time to compare.
How could you be that popular but still feel alone?
When I say alone, I mean, again, when those doors close. When the lights come after the thank you, you got the homies, then you get to the bus, and then, y'all boys good, blah, 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 whatever, and then them doors close. And there's nobody that no one know you. And then again, you create these things, and here again, it's mental health. Because none of these perspectives or none of these opinions or decisions or things you're thinking or thoughts may be true at all. It's what you create in here because of your situation. And again, so you start to think, well, do anyone actually care? Will it matter when it's all over? Will I matter? And that's always the question. Well, will you matter when it's all over? Will you matter? Not the things you've done, the things you've done for everyone else, but will you actually matter to them, but most of all to you?
At the height of you being a star, what was the lowest point of your career?
Not being able, that's a good question. When I was going through this situation with my record label, and they wouldn't allow me to put an album out or put any music out. So when you compare that to whatever my mental health problem was back then, it was because I wasn't being allowed to do this, to be productive and be creative and to feel that I would love to do so.
So as an adult, the lowest point of your career was your label not letting you put music out. How bad did that hurt you? What did that do to you mentally?
My reaction or my actions that I wanted to take was quit. I wanted to retire.
Now, when you were 12, the thought of not being able to do music led to self-harm. But now when you were closer to what would have been 32, you had a healthier response,
of course,
to not being able to do music.
Yeah.
How or why were you able to have a healthier response?
When I know that this is a dream again, I could never be too greedy. So I started looking at it that way, like, you know what, this is your sign, this is all it is. It's your sign saying that you've done enough, you've been over blessed, and so, that's it.
You walked in from the moment we dapped each other up, you were in a good mood. Where are you now with your mental health? Are you happy with where you are now?
Actually, I'm so happy. Thank God. And it's simply because of being able to do what I love. And that's be productive and put some music out and help some people put music out and help people along the way. That's what I love. That's who I am. I guess simple cliche. That's who I was born to be.
Mm-hmm. What do you do, bro, on a daily basis? Is there anything outside of music to make sure you stay in check? Is it therapy? Is it meditation? Is it prayer? What do you do to make sure you stay happy with where you are?
I pray every single day. And I think I've said that a zillion times already since I pray a lot. That comes from my grandmother. And she just made me, you're going to pray regardless. And even if you don't know it, you're too young to know what you're praying for, you're going to pray.
What do you wish people knew about mental health?
What I wish they knew is that it's real. That is real. And there is no bar to measure how real. It's real. And so it's so real that if someone even have the guts, the heart, the bravery, whatever, to at least admit that they have something going on up there that they're not sure about, it's so real that we should only react in the realest way possible. We should remember it's not considered. And if you are a parent of a kid with a mental health problem or something, you think, like I say, even if you think, react with the realest reaction. I ain't saying be like my mom, but all I know is from that day forward, I've never seen or met that lady again. That was the realest reaction she could have gave me.
What would the adult Lil Wayne say to the 12-year-old young man before he tried to pull the trigger and end his life? What would you say to that young man?
I always think about what I would tell him, and the answers always comes out to be the same thing, and it's always a question. And it always is, what if that isn't the wall or the ceiling that you're seeing? What if?
Man, well, Wayne, I appreciate the authenticity, bro. I appreciate you being vulnerable enough to share. I appreciate you, like, they don't know, just calling me and saying, hey, I want to talk.
Yeah.
And I'm just glad that I could be the ears to listen to you, man.
Oh, man, I appreciate you, man, for real.
Of course.
And I admire everything you're doing, for real, man.
Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Uncomfortable Conversations with Emmanuel Acho. Mental health issues, mental health struggles, they don't discriminate based upon race, black nor white, man nor woman, famous nor anonymous. So make sure we take care of one another, but more importantly, make sure you take care of yourself. We'll see you next time.